Hello, my name's Ian, and today you're watching the Helmsburg Sawmill. And we've really been hitting this lumber tycoon thing pretty hard the last several days. In this video, you're going to get logging, sawmilling, skidding, log bucking, and a bunch of the finer details that are involved in between. This big boy here was standing last week. We're going to follow this guy's process in the video, and you'll be getting some information on it, and you'll see how it goes from stump to board. It won't be getting turned into boards in this video. It will in the future, but you guys are going to see the beginning steps of the process. Show you, we got our veneer laid out. Little batch of walnut. Batch of white oak. All the logs that you'll see today came off of that logging job that we've been on. Not a bad looking stick there. Okay, we're gonna sawmill first, and then you'll get to see all the other stuff that I was talking about. Make sure to like today's video, and if you're new to the channel and haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments about the process that you're about to see in the video, make sure to leave them in the comments section. Spent this morning in the woods cutting timber, and this is what I'm doing now. Cants out of 8-foot poplar. My head saw laser lights out, which is okay. I don't really need it for this shorter stuff, to be honest. The key to success is a constant flow. You always have to be getting product moved. On this particular day, Dad had some log sorting to do out at the job site, so I went ahead and came back to the mill to saw, since it was only about a mile away from the job. Voice over certain parts in this video, just that way I can stay going fast. While we're logging, we're not getting any sawmilling done. And to get the long-term footage that you need produced to make money in the long game, you have to try and sawmill every chance that you get, even if it's only for a couple of hours. You guys already saw all the nice fresh logs that got sent in. Those logs weren't in yet while I was sawing these old junk logs. So in my head, I'm thinking, I gotta hurry up and get all these old junk logs sawed and out of the way. That way I can have time to saw some of the new nice ones. And now that they're in, we are gonna be sawing through the nice ones, just because we have obligations and orders and things that we have to prioritize sawing. And those logs will fit the role. As some of you know, we have a log cabin that's coming up. But with the milling, you just have to be very adaptable and be able to adjust and go with the flow, because it's constantly going to change on what you're doing from day to day and what you're sawing. Like, you get caught up enough on one thing, and then you find the chance, and then you gotta decide that you have to saw more cants out of junk logs, because you look over and you see that the logs are looking worse than what they were a couple weeks ago. This is nice enough. When I open it up on the inside, I might try to get some 1x8s. See what it looks like, though. It might be too gray. And then the cabin's coming up. Once the customers' contractors get the subfloor put down, we'll be ready to go out and measure it so we know what dimensions we'll need to cut the cabin logs to. And that'll eventually be a whole video process. From the tree on the stump to the notched set cabin logs. And this is also along with the loads of grade lumber that I have to keep shooting out. It sounds like a lot, but I'm looking forward to all of it.
You always have to make sure to raise the edges out of the way. And I think I need to shake this a tad. Yep. Is the maximum width of pants that they want for pin, I mean. It's the only reason I took a board there instead of wasting it. Fortunately for me, I'm a lefty. My left hand here has the hard job of going back and forth between these 8 buttons, my set switch here, and my edger switches. My right hand here has the easy job, which is just back and forth with the carriage, back and forth with the bunks, and then my set button. Forwards runs the carriage forward into the saw, backwards, I mean, I'm just explaining, you guys are watching obviously, and then backwards brings the carriage back.
So this is the poplar tree that we're going to be tracking during the stump to board process. It's going to kind of be broken up in the videos. For example, the footage of me cutting this tree was already in a previous video. Look up video number 109, and it's the very first tree that I cut in the video. Now it's getting drug out of the woods down to the landing by our John Deere 650 bulldozer. And here when I'm talking in a second, full disclosure, Darth Vader's my cameraman. Just listen to what I'm saying.
So I'm going to go over my dad's marks here. So this is going to involve a couple different things. The marking up process, we're actually trying to get all the logs into the mill tree length, because that's where our knuckle boom loader is. This job was just a little bit too small to warrant bringing out our knuckle boom loader. So that is what we like to use for cutting up the logs. However, this guy's too big for old Smokey to pick up and put on the front end, and put on the truck. So we're just going to be cutting this one up the way it needs to be. As you can see, it's got a big crook in it. About right here, looks like 24 feet. Okay, we'll get a measurement here. Yep, 12 foot on that one. 12 foot on that one. And this piece here, he's just looking to get it on the truck.
This is not the log we're tracking, just some more details.
You can see that crook right there. We're starting from the top end of the log. Of course, you're going to have this pallet log right here. I could probably get a couple nice 1-inch poplar boards out of it. But from right here back, I'd say make a pretty good 28-foot long cabin log. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. Right there. 28'8" from where I was measuring back there. And then basically you would just cut this log at the most crooked point. I'm going to go over a couple things with this log before I buck it up. Dad quickly had to run and go get some logging mats to throw down for the truck to get in, because it's on its way out here. But we're doing some real world log bucking out here. They're not propped up, but as you can see, this butt log here is kind of suspended up because of the crook. So when I go to chop this one, I'm actually going to start with an undercut first. I'm going to score it down to get my line made, and then I'm going to go ahead and undercut it. And I'm going to keep boring up until it starts to pinch down, and I'm going to go over to the other side and do the same thing, because I don't think my bar is going to be big enough. Once it starts to pinch, that's when I'm going to do my overcut, and that's going to be to keep the log from splitting. And after it's all chopped up, I'm going to properly measure it up and give you guys the estimated board footage according to the Doyle scale. Had to breaking out the 395 today. Have to give it a little bit of glory. Alrighty. Now at a certain point, I'll go ahead and get these logs measured up for everybody. Oh yeah. That's what you got when you're loading the big ones with Old Smoky. Just gotta be nice and gentle. We'll chop this one up back at the yard with the knuckle boom loader. Oh yeah, this one's going on next. All the logs have been hauled in, and this is the log that we're keeping track of, and I'm gonna go ahead and measure it up so we can get the estimated board footage yield out of this tree. "28 inches inside the bark on the butt log. And you remember I cut it at 12, or I cut these at 12 feet. Second log, it's 27 inches inside the bark. And for the tip log with my 4-foot stick, we got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. We'll call it a 29 because we're going for maximum yield. And we got, we'll call it 25 that way, 21 that way, we'll call it a 23. 29, 23. Let's go see what that equates to. And there you have it, everybody. According to the Doyle scale, that poplar is approximately, or has approximately 1,483 board feet inside. Now that's pretty big, but they grow to be a lot bigger. That'll be all for today's video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune back in again next time. Coming up on the channel, there's obviously going to be some sawmilling, but there's also going to be a lot of the details involved with breaking these logs down and getting them sorted and moved. By moved, I mean cut up, sawmilled, and hauled away.